So this question asks you to do what? Do an income and expenditure account, right? Can see, okay? Income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st December 2016. So this is similar to a cash book. Sorry, this is similar to an income statement. Okay. For businesses, you call it as income statement, but for club and society, we call it as income expenditure account. Okay, if you see the notes, that's the difference. This is page number. Sorry, this is for 10 marks. Okay, this is for 10 marks. So a lot of marks here. Let's see how to do. A bit of recall on how to do this before we begin. You learn this in chapter 12. Okay, you learn this in chapter 12. That's how you do it. Income expenditure account. And very importantly, you have to look for amount that you should pay or receive during the year. Okay, amount that you should pay or receive during the year. Okay, so you have two sections, the income section and then the expenditure section. The income section, you always begin with the fundraising activity income statement. It is either a shop or cafe for every exam question. Okay, it's either a shop or cafe. You have to see the exam question, whether they have given you cafe or shop. Okay, so you determine whether your shop or cafe has been doing well or not first. Okay, with this part, then only you go on to write down other incomes of the club, income from other parts of the club. Okay, income from other parts of the club. Then you total up. Then you list down the expenses of other parts of the club. Okay, other parts of the club means except the cafe or shop. Okay, then you do a deduction here. Then you can get surplus for the year, or you call it deficit for the year if you get a negative number. Okay, so this is very important to know for this topic as well. You can see this is way 1. Way 2 means you do it this way. Okay, you can call this the separation method because the shop or cafe income statement has been separated out. Okay, the shop or cafe income statement has been separated out. Okay, prepared separately, and then followed by the income expenditure account. Okay, so let's see how to do for the question that we are seeing in that paper. So you can see this is an income expenditure account. Have we prepared the shop or cafe income statement separately earlier? No. Okay. So this is the combined method. Okay, if there is cafe or shop income statement, if there's anything about cafe or shop, then you put into this income expenditure account. But not always you would have those things. So if you see the question is on the left, yeah. Question is on the left. Okay, if you read carefully, I don't think there is any cafe or shop in this question. Okay, there's no cafe or shop in this question. Okay, so not always you would have that. Okay, now you should start with what? You should start with the income section, income subheading. Okay, income subheading. Okay, so where to look for incomes? Where to look for incomes? You look at the receipts and payments account that you have prepared earlier. The receipt and payments account that you have prepared earlier. So 2 pages earlier, I have to throw, yeah. Anybody can tell me whether this is This is an income or not? Loan from member. You tell me yes or no. Is loan from member an income? Okay. No. When you borrow money, it's not an income. Okay. You try to think of it logically. You borrow money from someone. Can you say that you earn the money? No, cannot, right? Okay. You have to pay back in the future. So this is a liability that should appear in SOFP, right? Okay. So the first one you ignore. I'm looking at the receipts and payments account, yeah. The debit side, to get to know what are my incomes. Okay, next, subscription. This is an income. This is an income. So should you pick up this 4100? No, this is a receipts and payments account, which shows to you how much you have actually received during the year. But you have to look for amount that you should receive during the year. You can get the amount for subscription from the part B. The $3,800 is the amount that you should receive for the current year, 3,008. Okay, so pick up this amount, 3,008 for subscription. Okay, so come to here, you write okay, so begin with this one. Okay, so recall to look for any possible income, you look at the receipts and payments account. Okay, look at the receipts and payments account debit side. Continue, yeah. Okay. Next one, you have tournament entry fees. Okay, so this is an income. You organize a competition, and then people who want to watch the competition, they have to pay entry fees, such thing. Okay. And before you take this number 1600, you have to see the question. Okay, whether there is any related number, if there's any related number for this tournament. So okay, I'm looking at the left hand side. Yeah, I try to stream through the question again. Nothing. Okay, there's no other numbers. There's no other number that's linked to the tournament entry fee. Okay, so just take this 1006, because when there's no additional information about the income or expense, it means that so in this case, you have not over received, you have also not under received the income. The 1006 is the amount that you should receive, and you have received the exact amount. Okay, that explains why there's no additional info. Okay, now bring this to the income expenditure account. Tournament entry fee 1006. Tournament entry fee 1006. So you write okay. Done, yeah. Okay, now we see the next one. Again, look at the receipts and payments account, debit side. Coach travel. Okay, coach travel. Remember the other day, I tried to understand the word coach. Okay, coach actually also means transportation. Okay, where you collected money from the students. Okay, who need to go for the competition, so that they go into a bus and they go to the competition together. Okay, so this is an income 9,980. Also see the question if there's any related number for this coach travel before you take this. Okay, additional info. There's no other number about coach travel. Oh, yes, there is one. Can see info number 4. They say, okay, let me draw an arrow. Yeah, can see 3 members owe the club amounts for coach travel total $80. Okay, there are still total of 3 members who owe the club for this coach travel. Total is 80. So you are doing income and expenditure account. You are looking for amount that you should receive for the current year. So logically, you should take the 80 plus amount that you have actually received. And this represents your should amount that you should receive for the current year. Okay, so that is one way to get the number you need for coach travel. Another way, you can also do a T account to find out what amount you should use. So let me show you. Another way, you can do a T account for coach travel. It's an income account. Okay, it's an income account. Amount you have actually received is 980. Amount you have actually received is 980. Debit cash or debit bank, then credit coach travel. Okay, cash/bank also means the receipts and payments account. And at the end of the day, some members still owe to us the coach travel fee 80. So it's here current asset, move it up diagonally, 80. And consequently, you are looking for this amount. This is the missing number. That's why you take these two numbers, you combine them together. Okay, take these two numbers, combine together. This is an income account here. Okay. One of you asked me why the $80 is not inside the 980. Simple. They have not paid to us. Okay. Receipts and payments account is a cash book. Only when you have received the money, then you debit it. Right? Okay. So you have received only 980 during the year. They're not everybody who pays on time, right? Some people, there are all kinds of people in this world. Some people pay late, some people pay early, some people pay on time. Agree? So $80 represent the amount that some members have yet to pay to us. Okay? So you have to understand what a cash book is, okay, or what is a receipts and payments account. Then you will know what is this amount, 980. That's amount you have actually received during the year. Amount we have actually received. We have received this amount during the year. Amount yet to receive, amount we have not received is 80. Okay, so come to here. We are doing income expenditure account here. Here, we include all the amount that you should receive and pay. So 80 plus 980. Okay, right here, coach travel. In club and societies question, you could be seeing things that you have never seen before. Okay, in most of the club and societies question we did earlier, I don't think we came across this thing, right? Coach travel. Okay, so every club and society is unique. So hope that you would not see things that are too different from what you have done so far. Okay, in the actual exam. Okay, now coach travel. Write the working here. How much? 1060, right? Yes, correct. Okay, let me repeat again. Yeah. Why the $80 is not inside the 980? Because we have not received it. We have not received it. Okay, we have only received 980 so far this year. Okay, the same goes to all these amounts here. 1,000, 4,001, 1,600. All these are amount we have actually received. We literally receive it during the year. Okay, and all these amounts on the credit side, we literally pay this amount during the year. Okay, that's a cash book. Now, and here, this topic, you call it as receipts and payments account. Okay, come back to here. So 1060, right? Okay, no. Let me try again. 1060, correct. Okay, so put it here, 1060. So common mistake made by students. Students would tend to just put the 980 if they didn't see the question carefully. Okay, see if you have other income or not. Do you still have any other income? By looking at the receipts and payments account. Okay, so you can see the debit side of the receipts and payments account, we have finished looking at all the items, right? So you can also get some hint from the first page of the question. See if you have any other income that you have yet to take into account. Okay, see if there's anything you have missed from the first page of question. Any income that you have missed? Subscription, not an income. Okay, this is not an income. Entry fees received. We are done with that. Club owe 200 in rent. Okay, good. We have taken into account all the incomes available in this question. Okay, because there are plenty of information on the first page, right? So just to ensure that I have not left out anything, that's why I went through the whole thing again. Okay, so only 3 incomes from what we can observe. Okay, total up all the incomes here. Total up. If you included something that I have not, you can let me know. Okay, I'll explain to you why you have made those mistakes. Okay, if you see that your answers are different, then you can let me know. I can try to explain what mistakes you made if you have made any. Okay. Now next, you look for all the expenses of the club. Okay, but here you should write expenditure. That's the term they use here. Inventory is not an income. You have not sold it, it's not an income. Inventory, do you see inventory in the question? No, inventory is not in the question. Number 2, okay. Help an inventory of trophies and prizes costing $60. It's not an income. Income is what you earn. Income is what you earn. So let me explain to you what is that. The club held an inventory of trophy and prizes costing $60. Okay, all of you, you know what I'm talking about. The second point. Okay, the second point is the $60. Okay, if you see the question, right? Okay, let me erase certain things here first. Okay, it looks a bit messy. Okay, if you see here, during the year, you have paid a total of 670 to buy trophies and prizes. Okay, you buy a lot of trophies and prizes so that you give this to those winners in the competition. Okay, you give these things to those winners in the competition. Okay, all this cost money. Okay, for example, you join a competition in your school. When you have won something, you will get trophy or prizes, right? Or even certificates, right? And then at the year end, that you must know how to read the information. Okay, this is a subheading. They give you a subheading here. That means on that day, you have these things. So at the year end, the club held an inventory of trophy and prizes for costing $60. This is what it means. Yeah, that's closing. That's closing. At the end of the year, you still have this amount of trophy and prizes worth $60. At the year end, you still have this value of trophies and prizes worth $60. Why? Probably you bought extra. When you bought the trophies and prizes in the current year, you bought extra. Okay, maybe you are planning to do a lot of competition. Okay, in every year, okay, you plan to do a lot of competition. That's why you buy a bunch of trophies and prizes one shot. Okay, and in the current year, you have used only $610 worth of trophies and prizes. Okay, in the current year, you have only used $610 worth of trophies and prizes. You have distributed $610 worth of prizes to the winners. And at the year end, you are left with $60 worth of trophies and prizes. Minus it for what? Okay, so I'm trying to explain why this is not income. Okay, because it's not an income. It's something that you buy to pay to the to give to the winners of the competition. Okay, it's not an income. Later I will tell you how to deal with this thing in the expenditure section. It's an expense. Okay, it's an expense. Okay, now we are doing the income expenditure account in expenditure section. So we are looking for expenses of the club. Where to get expenses of the club? You observe the receipts and payments account you did earlier. Receipts and payments account you did earlier. Okay, here. First item, tournaments, prizes, and trophies. Okay, it so happened that we have to look at the same thing that I talked about just now. Okay, 670 is amount you have actually paid during the year. Okay, but you should look for amount of trophies and prizes you should buy during the year. Amount of trophies and prizes you should buy during the year and distribute it to the winners during the year. It is 610. Okay, it is 610. And the 60 would become a current asset. It would become a current asset in the SOFB. So this item is kind of special. Okay, you show the amount that you have distributed during the year, which is 610. Oh yeah, I look for eraser. How we know it is CA? Because it's at the year end. And this $60 worth of trophies and prizes, you have not used them during the year. You have not distributed these trophies and prizes to the winners during the year because you have more competitions maybe in the next year, and this $60 worth of trophies and prizes, you are just keeping them for now. Okay, let's say in the next year you still have competition and there is winner, then you distribute these trophies and prizes to the winners. That means you bought extra during the year. You bought extra during the year. It's not current liability. Okay, issue is not current liability. Current liability means what? You owe somebody money. Do you owe somebody $60 here? No, you don't. Okay, you are not owing anybody money, right? It is something that you still own in your business. So asset. No, there's no business here, Ishin. We are doing club and society question. We are the club. We are the club. We are the club. We have already bought the trophies and prizes. We don't owe anybody money. And you still have extra trophies and prizes left. And it is what you own in the club right now. You still have $60 worth of trophies and prizes. So it's an asset. Why current asset? Because in the near future, you are going to organize more competition so that you can use it to distribute to the winners. Okay, so not liability. You are not owing anybody money here. You have already paid for the trophies and prizes. You bought already. Okay, but you bought extra this year, so you still have some left over. So it's an asset. You still own it in your club. Yeah, we are always the club. In this topic, we are always the club. We are never somebody else in this question. Okay, we are always the club. Okay, so you right here, trophies and okay, tournaments, trophies and prizes. You can write it this way. Tournaments, okay. Amount is you have to present 610. Because in the current year, you should have bought $610, $610 worth of trophies and prizes. Okay, because you have probably organized competitions that just require $610 worth of trophies and prizes. So 670 minus 60. Then you get 610. Don't write inventory. Don't write inventory because it could be anything. Okay, so you have to write tournament trophies and prizes. Okay. I'm not sure if you have seen something known as stationery. Okay, stationery is also treated the same like this thing. Okay, tournaments, trophies, and prizes. Stationery are those pencils, pens, papers, erasers. Okay, so you could have bought a lot of stationery, and then during the year you have used maybe just half of them. So half of the figure will be in the income statement. And at the year end, if you still have any stationery left, it is current asset in the SOFP. Okay, I'll talk more about it when we see a thing known as stationery in the future. For sure, we will see a stationery question in the future. Okay, we will see that thing. Okay, now let's continue with this. More expenses. Look at the income and expenditure account. Loan from member. This is paying back some money to the member who has loaned us has lended us money earlier. Okay, so it's not an expense as well because you are paying back for the loan. Okay, because earlier you borrow money, right? Okay, it's not an income. When you pay back the money, it's not an expense as well. Okay, because you are paying back the money that you have received earlier, not an income, not an expense. Okay, these two things. Okay, travel cost. What is travel cost? You send those children to the competition, so you have to probably rent a bus, okay, or book a bus, so that and then you have to pay for it. Okay, you have to pay for it. Okay, before you take this number 1020, you have to see the question again if there's any related number to travel cost. Okay, especially the additional info. Travel cost. Okay, nothing linked to travel cost. That means you can pay, you can take this amount 1020. So why is there no additional info for travel costs? Reason is amount that you should pay for the current year is 1020 and you have paid the exact amount 1020. That's why you don't see additional info because you have not overpaid, you have not underpaid. Okay, you paid the exact amount, which is amount you should pay. Okay, so take this 1020. Okay, 1020, put it here. If you can recall questions for club and societies, they are usually not easy because you have to know what you are exactly doing. Then you look at the question to see what you have to pick up. Okay, they are not arranged in a very proper order. Okay, the first page is always overwhelming, a lot of information. You have to know which to pick up. Okay, now next one. See the expenses. See the receipts and payments account, credit side again. Equipment. Equipment. Equipment is an NCA. Equipment is an NCA. Okay, so does NCA appears in the income and expenditure account? No. Okay, so think of NCA, you must think of what? Think of NCA, think of depreciation. Okay, so it is depreciation of equipment that appears in the income and expenditure account. Okay, how to calculate the depreciation? You see the question, okay, the left page. Info number 5. Info number 5. This one, okay. Expected to use it for steadily for 10 years. Expect to use it steadily for 10 years. This is useful life. This is useful life. At the end of this time, it would be sold for an expected amount of $300. This is residual value. Okay, if you don't get what I'm saying, what is residual value, you think that you have not seen it before, then you have to revise chapter 7. Okay, chapter 7 in my material, depreciation topic. Okay, these things are linked to, no, we are not selling the equipment here. Have we sold it? No. It says at this time, that means you are trying to anticipate, you are trying to expect in the future you will sell it for 300 expected. This is not proceeds. Are you literally selling it right now? No, this is not disposal. Okay, we are not doing a disposal here. This is residual value, amount that you expect that you would sell it in the future at the end of useful life. Okay, so see the notes again. You look at the straight line method, then you would have all these things. Okay, so calculate depreciation. You have useful life, you have residual value. Then the formula is cost minus residual value divided by useful life. Okay, this is the formula you learn from the chapter 7, straight line method. So calculate. Calculate. Now go to the income expenditure account. We'll present it inside straight away. You write depreciation of equipment. You cannot leave out the word depreciation. You must have the word depreciation in front. Otherwise, it's wrong. Yeah, you must have the word depreciation and also the name of the NCA. You must have it. You must have everything. Don't just write equipment. Because the single word equipment should appear in the SOFP is an NCA. You must not just write depreciation as well, because that's not how you present it. Okay, you must mention that it's depreciation, and this is linked to what NCA. You must also mention depreciation of equipment. Amount is what? So do the calculation. How much have you bought the equipment for? 2005. Okay, 2005. So present 2005 minus residual value 300 divided by 10. That's the calculation. Okay, 220. You see, at the end of the day, you could hardly see questions that are just focused on one or two topics alone. Okay, most of the time, the exam questions, they are testing you multiple topics altogether. Okay, that means logically you have to master the entire subject. Okay, really, for you to do questions comfortably, you have to really master the entire subject. Otherwise, You may see things that you do not understand, even though you are doing something that you know. Okay, let's say you are good in club and society. You are very good in club and societies topic. You know this topic very well. You are not too good in depreciation. Then when you see the equipment, you may not know what to do. Okay. If you are not good in accrual and prepayment, you are not good in doing income and expense account, then you look at the subscription account, you may not know what to do. Okay, so at the end of the day, everything is overlapping one another. Okay, now continue. We look at the next expense. Again, look at the receipt and payments account credit side to see if there's any other more expense. Okay, scroll up. Okay, so this is receipt and payments account. Okay, rent 2001. Can see rent 2001. Again, $2,100 is amount you have literally paid during the year. You have actually paid this amount during the year. Before you pick up this amount, go have a look at the question. Is there any amount that is linked to rent? Is there any other amount that is linked to rent? If there is any, you have to go look for amount that you should pay for rent for the current year. Amount that you should have actually paid, amount that you should have actually paid for rent in the current year. Everybody, I wait for you. This time I let you try. And then you tell me, what amount should I put here for rent? You can start now. I give you 1 minute. This is not difficult, yeah, okay. I have also demo for quite many times already, okay, to get the amount that you should pay. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I need to receive 2 more answers. Okay, I wait for everyone to respond. Yeah, okay, everybody, you have to try. Okay, I know time is up, but I will still wait. Okay, I wait for everyone to respond. Okay, if you are still trying, you keep trying. When all of you have given an answer, okay, then I will tell you which is correct. Okay, good. Everyone has tried. Okay, so if you see the question, $2,100, $2,100 is the amount you have actually paid during the year. Okay, agree? Amount you have actually paid during the year. You have literally paid this amount, 2001. Okay, then they say at the year end, the club still owe $200 in rent. That means the club still the club still owe the owner of a place for $200. So how much should you actually pay during the year? You have paid only 2001 and people tell you that you still owe 200. So how much should you pay actually? 2001 plus 200, 2300, logical? Yes. Okay, so you have to know how to interpret the question this way. Okay, so I'm here guiding you. So it may look easy, but when you try it yourself, you have to do the same as well. 2001 plus 200. Okay, let me repeat again. Yeah. In the current year, you have paid a total of 2001 for rent. And then somebody tells you that at the year end, you still owe 200. Why you still owe 200? Because you have not paid. That means how much you should actually pay? 2003. Okay, logical, yeah. Okay. You can also get this amount by doing a rent account. I show you. Okay, you can also actually get this amount by doing a rent account. Just like what I did using the T account for the coach travel earlier. Remember, for the coach travel, I also can get the amount using the T account. So rent amount you have actually paid is 2001, credit cash or credit bank, then debit rent account. And then at the year end, you still owe that person $200. That person means the owner of a place. Okay, we are tenant. 200 balance CD, balance BD. You're looking for this amount. You're looking for this amount. Okay, so based on this, logically, you should take these two amounts, 2,100 and 200, combine them together. Then you get 2003, which is the amount that you should pay for the current year. Okay, we see the next one. See the receipt and payments account, the credit side. Last one, you have other expenses, 450. Okay, before you pick up the other expenses, 450, you also see the question if there's any other number linked to these other expenses. Nothing else. Okay. If you see the additional info, there's no other number that is talking about the other expenses. That means for other expenses, you have not overpaid, you have not underpaid, you have paid the exact amount that you should pay. You can just pick up this 450. So you write down 450. Okay. Then can finish it off. Total about the expenses here. Amount is this one. Surplus or deficit? Surplus 1860. Okay, ensure that you can get this amount. And then we see the mark scheme together to determine whether it's correct. Surplus for the year. Don't write profit for the year. Do not write profit for the year. It would be wrong. Okay, for this topic, we call it as surplus for the year. Let's see the mark scheme. Okay, if you're still doing, okay, continue. Okay, the correction. Okay, mark scheme 2017 February March. Paper 2. Okay, let's see if it is 1860 surplus for the year. See, okay, 1860 surplus for the year. Okay, so our answer is correct, 1860. Okay, and then we look at other parts of the question. This is a theory question. State 2 returns why the closing balance in receipts and payments account is different from the final figure in the income expenditure account. Okay. For each reason, give one example taken from the question. Okay, doesn't sound easy. So you must know the difference between receipts and payments account and income expenditure account. Okay. Receipts and payments account is similar to a cash book. Income expenditure account is similar to the income statement, right? So basically, to answer this question, you have to master this table that you have in the notes. This one. Okay, this is page 198. Okay, that's in your material. If you know this entire table, then you can answer that question. Okay, so there are 4 answers, right? Reason 1, sorry, one reason here, one reason here. Then we have to give example. Let me guide you through in answering this. We can talk about this one. Go on, yeah, let me try to see. Similar to a cash book, similar to an income statement. The question asks why closing balance in both of them are different, right? We can talk about the purpose of preparing them. Because receipts and payments account is to find out how much funds, how much money you still have in the business. And this is to find out how much money you have earned during the year. Okay, surplus or deficit during the year. And then for the reason, I will tell you how to pick up. Reason later, I show you how to write. Okay, you follow me, you write together as correction. You write can see, need me to zoom in. Let me zoom in further. Yeah, I know there's a lot to write here, right? Then you try to minimize the size of the words you write. Purpose of receipt and payments account is to find the balance of funds left in the club, while income expenditure account is meant to find surplus or deficit. So to give example, you have to talk about some things that appear in the receipts and payments account, but do not appear in the other thing. Okay, for example, if you see one of the earlier pages, is there anything that appear in the receipt and payments account but do not appear in the income expenditure account? They are these things. Loan from member. Okay, loan from member. We can use this example to explain. Okay, because loan from member is not an income. So you write Okay, so this can be the example. It's not an income earned, so it doesn't appear in the income expenditure account. But when you borrow money, you literally receive it, right? Okay, you literally receive that money, so it's in the receipt and payments account. Okay, so which explains why the closing balance of the receipts and payments account and the income expenditure account is different. Okay. Once you're done writing, you let me know with the word done. Then we write the reason two together. Okay, I explain to you what to write for the reason two. Okay, I wait for everyone. Okay, when you're done, let me know with the word done. Okay, let me drink some water while you're still writing. Okay. First and foremost, you have to understand the word lend and borrow. What is the difference between lend and borrow? Okay. Lend, when you say lend money means you give somebody else money temporarily. You will collect back in the future. Let's say the money goes from, so in this case, it is loan from member. So member gives the loan to the club. This is what we are talking about in this question. The borrower is the club. Okay, the person who needs the money is the club. Okay, get it? We are the club. Okay, we are the club. Yes, that means we are borrowing money. Okay, member lending money. Okay, I wait for the rest. Once done copying, let me know. Then we go through the reason two together. Yeah, correct. Crystal, yeah, correct. Borrowing means that you would receive and use the money. Lending means you are giving somebody that loan. Okay, we look at reason two. Okay, shall we? Let's look at reason two. Next, we can look at depreciation. You agree or not? Depreciation is one of the things. Depreciation is one of the things that makes this last figure, different from the receipt and payments balance 440. Okay, so because depreciation, when you calculate depreciation, you are not receiving money or making payment of money at all. That's why depreciation do not appear in here. It is about this point, non-cash item. Okay, I'm going to use this point, non-cash item. Receipts and payments account doesn't include non-cash item, but income expenditure accounts, it does include non-cash item. And at that time, when I was doing this topic with you, I told you that you will see more examples in the future if you do accounting. But for this subject, you only have to know one example of non-cash item, which is depreciation. Non-cash item means, yeah, that's the explanation. You should have written this line, okay, in the notes there. So let's write the answer for this. You write with me as correction. Of course, if you want to let me see how you have written the answers for this part, whether your answer is correct or not, you can let me see, okay? You can WhatsApp to me after the lesson. So let's write the receipts and Okay, and then the examples. Okay, finish. Okay, finish. And then we move on to the next question to discuss. Okay, that's the end for this club and society question. Okay, everyone, I wait for you. We move on together. Okay, when you're done, you write done. Okay, I wait for Wenjun. Okay. Okay, I wait for Crystal. Okay, good. Now we see the next question, shall we? So you notice or not, we have taken we have spent 1 hour discussing the part C and part D only, right? But in the actual exam, should you spend that long amount of time? No, okay? Because when I discuss, I have to talk about many things in details, right? Okay, I have to explain. I try to explain everything that you have to put into the answer. So in the actual exam, how much time should you spend? For paper two, as a guide to you, you should look at the mark allocation. 10 marks means try to finish it within 10 minutes. Okay, maybe you may spend more time because in the exam paper, in the actual exam paper, some questions could be easy, some questions could be difficult. And for questions that are easy, let's say that question is for 5 marks and it is so easy that you can spend just 2 minutes to finish it. Possible? Yes, right? Okay, so that means in this easy question, you have saved a total of 3 minutes. Okay, and for some exam questions which are more challenging, and this question is for 5 marks, maybe you would like to, maybe you have to spend more time than 5 minutes. Therefore, you may spend maybe 7 to 8 minutes. My point is everything balance out. Okay, everything would balance out. And yeah, you have to manage your time lah. Okay, you have to look at the clock. Okay, have to look at the clock or your watch so that you can ensure that you can finish the entire paper. Okay, time management is important. But as a guide, you should spend about 10 minutes. Okay, 1 minute per question. Because in paper two, there are 5 questions. Each question is worth 20 marks. Total how many marks? 2 times 20. Wait, yeah. It is, sorry, each is for 20 marks, 20 marks, okay? In total, 100 marks. In total, there are 100 marks. For paper two, it is for 1 hour and 45 minutes, equivalent to 65 minutes. Sorry, this is 106 minutes, 105 minutes. 105 minutes, agree? 1 hour 45 minutes is 105 minutes. So you take 105 minutes, the amount of time you have in paper two, divide by 100 marks. Okay, you would get about 9. Sorry, you would get about 1, right? Okay, meaning you should spend about 1 minute per mark. Okay, you should spend about 1 minute per mark. Okay, 105 minutes divided by 100 marks. Go to the next question, a manufacturing question. This question, you saw it in your chapter 13 of my material. And at that time, we didn't go through this question. It's a very lengthy question. So when you see a long list of items given, remember a few things that you should try to follow. You have to look at the numbers carefully. To ensure that you pick up the correct numbers, you can draw lines like this in advance. Okay, immediately you see the question, you draw lines like this using ruler. Because there are many students who would easily pick up the wrong number because there are many things here and you could have parallax error. For example, when you look at the revenue, you could have taken 63100. Okay, if you look at wages, you could have picked up maybe 1005. Okay, it's a very common mistake. Therefore, to avoid you taking the wrong numbers, you form the lines like this. That means you put the numbers into batches. Okay, it looks easier. Okay, continue. Continue. Okay, I think that's it. More than enough lines here. Okay, now, and then next rule to follow is, whenever you have used any number, make sure you remove them. Okay, ensure that you remove them. Any numbers that you have used, remove them, cross them off. It would make you more efficiently finishing the question. You try to imagine when you are near the end of doing the question, you are trying to pick up the last few numbers. Would it be faster if I have all the numbers not being crossed off compared to another situation where I have crossed off any numbers that I've used? Would it be easier for me to pick up the last few numbers now? Yes, of course. Okay, see the benefit. If I have been crossing off numbers from time to time throughout the question, it would be easier for me to pick up the last few numbers when I'm near the end of completing it. Okay, agree, yeah? It's a very important exam technique. Some people could be too overconfident that they think they would know what numbers they have used. They think that they can remember everything. But sometimes they may miss out certain numbers if they don't do so. Okay, so when you have used any number, you remove them. Okay, remove them, cross them off. And then the third rule to follow is try to classify all these things in advance. Classify, or you call it tagging. Okay, you tag each of these items to indicate where each of these should go to. For example, this item, this is opening raw material. It should go into the manufacturing account. So I write the alphabet M, okay, to indicate that it goes into the manufacturing account. This one goes into the manufacturing account as well. Finished goods goes into the income statement. Okay, let's continue, shall we? Even though I have not, sorry, I think I should look at the part A first. We should look at what they are asking us to do first, okay, before we go and see the question. A, select relevant figures. Select. What does this indicate? It indicates that you don't need to include all the numbers into this part A. All the numbers presented on the first page, you don't need all of them to be in this A. Okay, because they ask you to select the numbers that you need to be put into this manufacturing account. And prepare the manufacturing account for the year ended 31st January 2017. So in this question, year end is 31st January 2017. What is the beginning of the year? 1st February 2016. 12 months backwards. Okay, 1st February 2016 is the beginning of the year. Okay. And this question is for a total of 12 marks. Next question, part B. I'm trying to see the overview of the question first. Okay. I'm trying to see each part asks us for what. Okay, part A asks us for manufacturing account. Part B asking us for income statement. And then part C is a theory question. In the actual exam, you should also do the same. When you are looking at a new question, you look at what are they asking you to do. Okay, look at A, look at B, look at C, look at D, and so on. Then only you start with the A. Okay, try to see the overall of the question so that you have the psychological preparation. Okay, when you get to the next question, you know what they are asking for after you are done with the part A. So A, manufacturing account, B, income statement, C, a theory question. So focus on doing the A first. So manufacturing account, okay, now come to here. Financial year of Toshi Manufacturing Company ends on 31st January. Now this question is not just about doing something with manufacturing business. It's a company question as well. You see how they are overlapping one another? Okay, it's a company's question. And you have to, when you think of company, you think of what? Think of shares, ordinary shares, preference shares, then the statement of changes in equity, and equity, the four components, ordinary share, preference share, retained earning, general reserve, those things. Okay, so have to be aware in this topic, you are doing company question as well as manufacturing account question. Trial balance was extracted from the books. Okay, first and foremost, we go through all the items here. The first two that I have identified, they should go into the manufacturing account. All these are opening items, okay? Opening raw material, opening work in progress, opening finished goods. The inventory you have at the beginning of the year. Okay, these are the things you have at the beginning of the year. Then revenue means sales, okay? It goes into the income statement first item. Okay, agree? Income statement first item is revenue. Returns inwards, what is this? This is sale returns. Okay, returns inwards means the same as sale returns. Customer return goods back to us into our business. That's why you have the word inwards. Okay, customer return goods back to us into our business. So income statement, the second item. Okay. In the exam, would I do all these things? Yes, I would also do the same thing. Okay, it would make you more efficiently complete the answers later, really. Income statement, cost of sales. Oh, you have purchases of raw material, purchases of finished goods. Raw material purchases, it should go into the manufacturing account. Manufacturing account, the first part, okay, the first part of the manufacturing account. Okay, if you want to, you can write first part, okay? We always start with raw material first, right? We always start with raw material first. When you see finished goods, it's always in the income statement. So during the year, you have bought this amount of finished goods. Income statement in the cost of sales section. Yeah, just now I explained returns inward is sales returns, correct? Okay, returns inward is sales returns. Returns outwards is purchases returns. Continue to see. Returns of purchases of raw material. This is in the manufacturing account. Also at the raw material area there. Carriage inward for buying finished goods. Income statement. Cost of sales. Okay, if you do not know what I'm doing, that means you have to see your notes again. Your notes for this is in chapter 13. Page 236, okay? Page 236 of your material. I have a sample of manufacturing account here for you, as well as the relationship with the income statement. Okay, this is in your chapter 13. Page 236, okay? Now come back here. Factory, pay to the factory operatives. This is in the manufacturing account. This is direct labor. This is direct labor. because of the word operatives. Okay, so this is direct labor. That means it's not production overhead. It's not production overhead. And then this is wages paid to factory supervisor. This is in the manufacturing account overhead. Remember production overheads. Okay, overheads. Wages paid to office and sales staff in the income statement expenses section. When you see anything that is not linked to factory, then it's in the income statement. Okay, income statement expenses, okay? So do not give up when you see a long list of items here, okay? When you see that the first page is full of information, please do not give up. That's the nature of the subject, okay? That's the nature of the subject. So next thing I want to say is, we look at the next item. General expenses. General expenses. So it's not mentioned whether this is linked to manufacturing or something outside the factory. So we have to assume that it is not about factory. It goes into the income statement expenses section. Okay, let me repeat again. Why I think that this is not in the manufacturing account? Because I don't see the word factory. I don't see the word factory. Okay. Premises at cost, factory machinery, office equipment. So premises is in the SOFP. This is also in the SOFP. This is also in the SOFP. Okay, because these are NCA. This is also in the SOFP. Okay, and when you think of NCA, you must think of depreciation. So the depreciation of this and also the depreciation of this should go into the manufacturing account. They are production overheads. Okay, the depreciation of those tools and factory machinery, they are production overheads. They are linked to the factory. If you have to calculate depreciation of premises and office equipment, they are the depreciation that appears in the income statement. Okay, their depreciation appears in the income statement. Office and sales staff. What is meant by office and sales staff? Office staff, for example, accounting staff. Do you think an accountant works inside the factory? Not really. Okay. Factory means the place at which you make the things for sale. Okay. Do you think that the accountant would sit next to the machine and work on the accounting there? No, for sure not, right? Okay, so it's outside the factory. Okay, office is outside the factory. Sales staff are people who help sell the stuff and earn commission. Do you think that the person selling the product would stand next to the machine and sell? No, not really. Okay, it's outside the factory. Office and sales staff outside the factory. Okay, if you see the questions that you have done in the chapter 13, you have seen this item multiple times. Okay, office and sales staff is outside the factory. Okay, next. You have provision for depreciation. So you see, even though you are doing manufacturing question, you see the word company, you see the word depreciation, there's no way for you to escape, okay? You have to master the entire subject for you to do questions comfortably in the exam. So provision for depreciation. This is accumulated depreciation. Okay, agree? Accumulated means provision for. Okay, accumulated means provision for. This is at the beginning of the year, right? 1st February 2016. So this amount, these two amounts, they are the depreciation that you have charged for the earlier years. Okay, because at the beginning of current year, This is the beginning of current year. Okay, this is the beginning of current year. At the beginning of current year, you have already accumulated these two amounts of depreciation. So you must have charged these two amounts for earlier years. Okay, that's provision for depreciation. Capital at the beginning of the year. If you have to prepare SOFP, you will need this amount. Drawings, SOFP, SOFP, SOFP. Agree? Okay. Unless you don't even know what is trade receivable or trade payable are. Okay, these are the basic things. CA, CL. This should be in the capital section, right? Okay. Interest-free short-term loan. Short-term indicates current liability. Okay, loan means liability. So current liability. So also in the SOFP, bank overdraft also in the SOFP, current liability. Okay, so after you have done classifying all of them, after you're done with the classification, it will make your life easier when you are answering the question. Following additional information is available. This is what 31st January. Is this beginning of the year or year end? So see the question. Year end is 31st January. Okay. So these are all the year end balances, or you call them the closing amount. So these are closing raw material, closing work in progress, closing finished goods. And at the year end, you owe some wages to factory supervisor, accrued. See, this is chapter 6, accrued and prepayment. Okay, so that's how they are all overlapping one another. This is closing balance. Wages is an expense, and at the year end, that means this is closing balance. Okay, at the year end, you still owe to the supervisors some wages, 12000. This is meant for what? This is meant for letting you to find the amount that you should pay for the current year. Okay, later I show you how to deal with this. Same goes to this. Wages accrued to the office staff. Okay, 43000. Okay, value of loose tools. Okay, anybody can tell me in the chat box, for loose tools, what is the method of calculating depreciation? Anybody knows the word? Okay, for loose tools, NCA. Okay, loose tools are NCA. Okay, we should use what method to calculate the depreciation? Good. Those who have answered, okay, you still remember. The rest can recall. It starts with the word R. Revaluation, revaluation method. Okay, revaluation method. So when they give you, so for this method, they must give you the market value of the loose tools at both the beginning and at the year end. Then you see the drop in market value. Drop in market value is the depreciation. So you can see at the year end, value is 19050. Okay, all the information here are at the year end. Okay, so 19050 is market value at the year end for loose tools. See the question. Loose tools at valuation 21150. That's the market value at the beginning of the year. Okay, how do I know it's at the beginning of the year? Because there's no other point of time that will give you the value. Okay, for sure this is at the beginning of the year, 21150. So then we find the difference. Hold on, did you buy any loose tools during the year? No, right? Okay, so you find the difference between these two amounts, then you will get the depreciation. Okay, later we do the calculation. Then info number 2, guiding you on calculating depreciation for factory machinery, reducing balance method, 20%. See, depreciation topic, right? Office equipment, straight line method, 15%. Okay, so later we calculate when we are doing that part of the answer. Okay, now let's start to write the answer. Okay, if you have done, then you do correction, okay? But if you want to redo as I'm doing here, you can also do so. Yeah, there's one more thing, next page. Those tools are revalued at the end of each financial year. We don't need them to have this line to tell us actually. Even if they don't have this line, you must still know that you have to calculate depreciation because they have given you the beginning market value and the year-end market value. Okay, even without this line, this question is still fine. Okay, so remove this line. Oh, you see, general expenses, they say that 3/5 goes to the factory, 2/5 goes to the office. Okay, so what is the consequence of this? 3/5 will go to manufacturing account. 2/5 goes into the income statement. That's what it means. Okay, 3/5, 2/5. Let's write it down on the first page. 3/5 factory, 2/5 office. 3/5. Okay, 2/5 office, 3/5 for the manufacturing. Now we can start to write the answer. So info number 5, settle. Oh, what if we split it immediately? What do you mean split it immediately? 3/5, 2/5. I don't have to calculate it right now. Okay, I can. Oh, it's also fine. If you want to do the calculation first now, you can do. You want to split it right now. It's also fine. So that later on, when you pick up the numbers, you just pick up the numbers. Don't have to calculate anymore. Up to you. It's okay. But this calculation is easy. So I do it later on. It's also fine. Okay. Now look at the A. We do the A. After the A, if we can finish the A, okay, then we finish it. Because I still have only 5 minutes. So I split the page. Yeah, I split the entire screen into two. On the right hand side, I show you the answer. Left hand side, I show you the question. Easier this way. Do one thing at a time. Yeah. Try not to do the manufacturing account along with the income statement together. Okay. Do one thing at a time. Do manufacturing account first. Okay. Begin with what? Raw materials. Begin with raw materials. So you want to do it together with me? Okay, you can redo it together with me. Right, raw materials. Draw a line. Okay, create a subheading. Okay, then you look for everything about raw material. Look for everything about raw material. You have opening raw material or not? Yes, there is. 49500. Can see? 49500 opening raw material. So beginning with that figure, you write 49500. Okay. So once you have used it, you remove it. Okay. Then purchases of raw material. Okay, the formatting should be familiar, right? Opening plus purchases. If there's carriage inward, then you plus, then you minus closing raw material. Everything about raw material. If there's returns of raw material, remember to minus it also. Okay, so next we look at purchases of raw material. 394,600, can see? 394,600. So you see, before you go into the exam hall and do accounting paper, you need to be very energetic. Yeah, you need to be very energetic. If you are very tired, I can guarantee you that you cannot do the paper well. Okay, because you need to be very energetic. You must have enough energy so that you can stay active and look at the numbers carefully, pick up numbers that you need. Okay, if you are tired, then you can easily pick up the wrong thing. Okay, because you need to have the energy to do the analysis. Otherwise, you cannot do the paper well. So that means you have to sleep well before your exam. Okay, sleep well before your exam. Okay, 294, 600. But it doesn't apply to writing essays though. Okay, writing essays for English paper, I don't think you need that much of analytical skills though. Okay, now continue. 394, 600. Purchases of raw material, write it down here. Okay. Then is there carriage inward for raw material? No, there's no carriage inward for raw material. But there is a carriage inward for buying finished goods. Okay, so we don't need that. It's in the income statement. There is returns of raw material, right? Can see 16400. Okay, so write it down. Okay. Then closing raw material. Okay, one of you asked me, is it all right to switch the position between these two? It doesn't make a difference to the final answer, right? But logically, we should have purchases first, then only we minus purchase returns. Whether you would still get the mark or not if you switch the position between these two, I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm not too sure. So for safety purposes, better to start with purchases first though. Okay, then purchase returns. Try to follow this. Purchases first, then only minus purchase returns. If you really accidentally switch the position, then you would not know, right? Okay, because it's an accident and you have submitted the paper to the examiner, then forget it, okay? Because you cannot change it anymore. If you make an error, you switch the position between these two, then just forget it because you should have not changed it after submitting the paper. Cancel everything. So you cannot bring, okay, remember you cannot bring correction tape, you cannot bring liquid paper into the exam hall, right? Okay, and what if you have made some major mistakes? Okay, let's say the first three things are wrong. You have put in some things that should be in the income statement. So yes, you should cancel off. Okay, if you have put some things that are not in the manufacturing account, let's say, okay, the first three items, then yes, you have to cancel off. Draw horizontal lines, cross off tidily. Please try not to cross off this way. It looks very, it doesn't look good. Yeah, it doesn't look good. And it doesn't give a good impression to the examiner. Okay, so when you cross off, also try to cross off tidily like this. Sorry, not red color. Yeah, you cannot bring red pen into the exam hall. Let's say black. Okay, so you remove it like this. Okay, then you have you have you have wasted 3 rows of space, right? You have wasted 3 rows of space. What if you don't have enough space when you are near here? Then you raise your hand, get extra extra foolscap paper from the examiner. Okay, it's all right. Then you indicate clearly you are doing which question. This is question, let's say this is question 5, so 5A. Then you continue the answer on that separate piece of paper. Okay, but try not to do so because you might have wasted a few minutes. Okay, if you have really no choice, then you use the extra foolscap paper. Okay, yeah. So these are the things you have to know. For every subject, you have to know what to do. Okay, let's say you do a mistake in the exam. So what about how I do it in the exam? Okay, the first time I learned accounting was in SPM. Okay, it's equivalent to the IGCSE you did. I try not to see. One of the ways of removing mistake is crossing off like this. The other way to avoid mistake is do not make mistake. Okay, if you do not make mistake, then you don't have to cross off anything. Yeah, so bottom line is try not to make mistake, then you can keep your papers look tidy. Okay, that's my way. Okay, yeah, but of course, sometimes there could be accidents, then you have to cross off tidily. Okay, then next thing is what? We write one more thing. Let's write one more thing. Let's closing raw material. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? It's in the additional info. Can see closing raw material 41100. Can see 41100. So write down 41100. You should get 386600. So I think I will continue in the next lesson. Okay, we will continue next week. And for this item, you write cost of raw materials used, the amount of raw materials you have used during the year. Okay, cost of raw materials used. Okay, so once you're done with the correction, then you can say goodbye. We will see you. We will meet again next year. Okay, so everybody, Happy New Year. See you again next week. Okay, I wait for you to leave. Okay, bye, Benjin. Bye, Yijin. Okay, bye, Charmaine, Crystal, Kelly. Okay, bye, Wenhui.